Imagine a floating city, a massive steel citadel on water, which not only carries aircraft but also stands as a symbol of China's emerging naval power. This is the next-generation Chinese aircraft carrier, Type 003, officially named Fujian. It is not just a ship, it is the pinnacle of a technological race in which China increasingly asserts itself as a global superpower. The Fujian has become more than a military asset. It is a political and strategic message to the world, especially to the United States. At first glance, the Fujian is a colossal feat of engineering. Its displacement is approximately 80,000 tons. The ship's length is about 316 meters, nearly the length of 3 football fields laid end to end. Unlike older models with steam catapults, it uses an electromagnetic launch system, the same cutting-edge technology found on the newest American aircraft carrier, the Gerald R. Ford. This indicates a significant shift. China is no longer just catching up. It is competing directly with the most advanced naval platforms in the world. Notably, China skipped the transitional step entirely, leaping from ski jump ramps straight to the most sophisticated launch system available. Inside, the Fujian is a floating metropolis. It is designed to house a crew of more than 2,500 people. Including pilots, maintenance personnel, and technical staff, the total onboard population can exceed 3,000 individuals. The ship is divided into operational and living zones. These are not just cabins, but a full life support infrastructure enabling autonomous deployment for months at sea. There are surgical modules, emergency hospitals, engineering workshops, training facilities, libraries, food storage units, and even recreational areas for officers, including karaoke rooms and cinemas. Life on board is governed by strict hierarchy. Enlisted sailors live in 6 to 8 person cabins with bunk beds and minimal personal space. Officers enjoy more comfortable quarters, typically 2 to 4 per cabin, while the captain and admiral-level personnel occupy near hotel-quality suites. Automation is pervasive, from ventilation systems and food distribution to real-time digital monitoring of supplies. The Fujian is linked to Beidou satellites, has a secure communications channel, and can exchange information with any Chinese military unit on the planet in real time. The carrier air wing is centered around 5th-generation J-35 aircraft, China's answer to the American F-35C, designed specifically for carrier operations. The ship also hosts Z-20 multi-role helicopters and sea-based unmanned aerial vehicles. Its electromagnetic catapult system allows it to launch heavy drones and airborne early warning aircraft, transforming the Fujian into a full-fledged airborne command center capable of reconnaissance, surveillance, and strike missions up to 1,500 kilometers from its location. The onboard weapon systems represent a class of their own. The Fujian is equipped with a multi-layered air and missile defense network. This includes HQ-10 missiles, China's equivalent of the American RIM-116 RAM, multi-channel anti-aircraft artillery systems, and reportedly even experimental air defense technologies involving lasers or electromagnetic pulses, which are not officially confirmed but widely discussed among military analysts. Perhaps most importantly, the Fujian is not designed to operate alone. It serves as the flagship of a full carrier strike group, which may include Type 055 destroyers, cruise missile submarines, supply ships, and escort vessels. This makes it not just a floating airbase, but a mobile military city capable of commanding operations across thousands of kilometers. The American response to the Fujian's unveiling was immediate. Pentagon analysts openly acknowledged that China has for the first time entered the realm of technological parity in aircraft carrier design. Whereas the United States once held undisputed dominance over the world's oceans, the arrival of the Fujian has altered that balance. Especially significant is the fact that China may build 2 or even 3 such carriers within the next decade. Unlike American carriers, which typically take 10 to 15 years to construct, Chinese shipyards have demonstrated the ability to assemble these giants in record time. What is most concerning for the West is that the Fujian is purpose-built for future conflicts in the South China Sea, the Taiwan Strait, and the Indo-Pacific region. This is not a defensive vessel, it is an offensive instrument. China is not merely building a fleet, it is engineering global reach. The Fujian is capable of reaching Africa, the Persian Gulf, and the Indian Ocean with full autonomy in logistics and resupply. Furthermore, the Fujian has become a technological testbed. Many of the systems deployed on this carrier will be adapted for future Chinese warships, from frigates to submarines. It now stands as the flagship of a new naval doctrine, one in which China no longer limits itself to coastal defense. It is venturing into the open ocean. Finally, the Fujian serves as a symbol of soft power. It is frequently showcased on Chinese state television and has become a point of national pride, a symbol of how a country once dependent on foreign military technology has now produced a world-class weapon of its own. Within China, it represents strength and independence. Behind its creation stand thousands of engineers, dozens of research institutes, and tens of billions of yuan in investment. In sum, the Fujian is more than just an aircraft carrier. It is a window into the future of China's Navy, a direct challenge to the United States, the product of decades of strategic planning, a floating hub of technological advancement, and a tool that could shift the global balance of power. Its launch sends a clear signal: China is ready to compete as an equal, and those who fail to take this seriously do so at great risk of falling behind. And yet, behind all the technical and strategic power of the Fujian, there is something more. It is not just a symbol of China's growing military influence, it represents the evolution of the Chinese military-industrial mindset itself. Where the People's Republic of China once operated under the model of copy and adapt, the launch of the Fujian marks a shift in paradigm. China is now beginning not merely to replicate Western technologies, but to develop its own innovations, even in domains where the United States has long been considered unrivaled. It is also worth emphasizing that the Fujian is serving as a testing ground for a future nuclear-powered Chinese aircraft carrier. According to various reports, China plans to commission such a vessel in the mid-2030s, one that will rival the American Nimitz and Ford-class carriers, but powered entirely by Chinese technologies. This includes a domestic nuclear propulsion system, advanced energy infrastructure, and potentially even next-generation electromagnetic weaponry. The Fujian is a step before the leap, its current technologies already laying the groundwork for that leap. American analysts, including those at RAND and the Pentagon, are closely monitoring every movement of the Fujian. Satellite imagery, signal intercepts, docking and deployment route analysis, all of this shows just how seriously the ship is being taken on a global level. The United States has already begun accelerating the modernization of its own carriers and is reassessing its naval posture in the Pacific region. The Fujian has quite literally forced the American military machine to move faster, perhaps the clearest sign yet of its significance. There is also a psychological effect at play. The Fujian is a projection of power, tangible, visible, and mobile. It is not an abstract weapon. And finally, the most important point, Fujian is not the finish line, it is the starting point. China intends to build more, build better, and build faster. Fujian has already become a training ground for the next generation of Chinese naval officers, pilots, and engineers. It has become a symbol of China's entry into its oceanic era. Where once there were coastal missile batteries, there will now be aircraft carrier flotillas. Where China once held back, it will now push beyond. This is a shift in mindset, one that cannot be reversed. Fujian is not just a ship, it is a direction of movement. It is a flag flying above global ambition. And this is only the beginning.